Hello, everybody. It is Thursday again, and I am so glad that you are all here with me. I've been flying by the seat of my pants. I really did have today's projects done like last week, Friday, and I even have next week's projects and the week after that done. I just got swamped with a million other things and didn't get supply lists done and all that kind of stuff. So I'll get better at it. Of course, we're just starting off with this idea of the stamp focus. So I got to get into a little bit of a groove here. I say that all the time. I need to get into a groove. I never really quite make it to the groove. I hope I can get there because I'm really enjoying this format. It worked so well last week, and I think you guys really liked it. So I am just working my way through a few things, and we'll get there. I am so glad to see all of you guys hopping on today. Hello, Nancy and Sue and Miss Tamp and Lori, and who else is out there? Tiffany and Susie. Susie was the first one in today. So I'm so glad you guys are out there. And we're going to get started with our next two cards in the stamp focus. I changed a few things on my screen here. So I'm still going to be up in the corner, but then instead of having a really big sketch, I made it a lot smaller and just put it next to it. So hopefully that takes up less space and you can see more of my desktop because the sketch doesn't need to be like super, like in the big focus the whole time, right? It's more important to see what I'm doing here. So, and I just remembered that, what did I do with the stamp set? Oh my gosh, guys, my Begonia stamp set is somewhere. Oh, there it is. Oh, like the star of the show. Totally need that today. Okay, I need that, and I know I need a block, probably just one. And I'm good to go. So it is a whole nother week past. Holy cow. And we're going to move into our fun cards for tonight. So apologies for not getting the list out. Hopefully you guys have things that are similar to what we're working with, or it'll at least give you some ideas that you can go to and work with this weekend. Couple of housekeeping items, of course, click that little thumbs up down there. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and click on the little bell. So that way you'll get notified when I go live and when I have updates on my page. You'll also see if you subscribe and you click on the little notification bell, you'll also see there's a new thing called community in YouTube. It's newer, I should say. And it's kind of like a little feed for me to like pop out information and do polls and share pictures. And it's kind of just a little community kind of idea, Facebook Lite, I would call it, like super light. So sometimes I put information out there to remind you. You'll see that in your feed if you subscribe to my channel. And it's just kind of helpful. I'm going to start doing things like polls and stuff like that for upcoming stamp focus sets so that we all have some input on that. Also down in the description for today, I have all of the supplies that we're using. Of course, like I always say, use what you have. Don't feel compelled to have to buy everything. I'd rather you get use out of all the stuff that you have and feel like, yeah, I bought this and it was totally worth it because I was able to make a whole bunch of stuff with it. Then feel like you have to buy all sorts of new things just to do exactly what I'm doing. I want you guys to be able to stretch your creativity and use my ideas as a jumping off point for your projects. So there's that. And then also, and you should probably put like a little thing up here somewhere to remind you, tag me. It's at Pixel Mavens Retreat. You can find me on Instagram, on here on YouTube, of course, and on Facebook with that handle everywhere. So it's very easy to remember, at Pixel Mavens Retreat. And you can share your projects. I know some of you guys have already been doing that. I see you out on Instagram. When you tag me, I can see your projects and I can go out and comment. And then sometimes I capture a screenshot and I share it in my stories so other people can see how you're inspired by the work that I'm doing here. And last but not least, there's a share button down there. So while we're live today, if you want to get your friends in on all of the crafty fun, click on that share button and share it out into groups that you're a part of. There's a ton of stamping groups out on Facebook, like what's the name of it? Stamp Junkies, a whole bunch of other groups out there that you can share live events with so that people know that there's creativity going on out there that they can join in for free. So yeah, share it and get some of your crafty friends to join along. I've been so encouraged by everybody that's been joining along with us. So lots of comments already. Hello, everybody. Hello, Becca. Good to see you. Heidi, so glad your stamp set will be here. You will have 5, 6 ideas already to get started with the Build a Flower Begonia, and that'll be awesome. Okay. Plus, I do have not next week, but the week after, we're going to do some Christmas-y looking cards. They can be made not Christmassy if you want them to, of course. But I thought it's July. We could do a little Christmas in July. So some holiday kind of stuff. And then I think the last week in July, since we have 5 weeks in July, and I already did Begonia like in the last week of June as well. I thought maybe the last week of July, I would do something a little different with the Begonia. It's with some new products that Altenew is coming out with that you'll see tomorrow. So be sure to stop back. We're having a video hop for the Altenew release tomorrow. I'm the second in line behind the Altenew page. So stop by tomorrow when my video goes live. It'll be different than what I have on my blog. I have a whole bunch of other projects on my blog for the release, but the video is awesome. It is a new product line from Altenew that you are just going to go crazy over. I'm so excited that they brought this to the table because it was so much fun. So anyway, I might do something with that at the end of the month because it's just so cool. So anyway, that's a little teaser. So stop by tomorrow because I know you're going to want to see what I made. Okay. Blah. All right. So everybody is out there. Are my California girls out there? My San Francisco posse. I hope so. I know California has been kind of crazy lately, but at least crafting is an indoor event. And you can do it by yourself if you want. Okay, so here's our fun cards for today. So this was the teaser on the on my screen for the YouTube live. This is the picture that I put in there. So cute. A couple different ways to use the Begonia. And then this other one, this is a quick and simple one. Super, super simple. And I was working on it and I happened to be able to, I was working on it and I had some time. So I just ended up die cutting the die cuts ahead of time. So we won't use the die cut machine today. We're just going to use these pre-cut ones that I had in place. So we might go a little shorter than an hour this time, but hey, that's fine too, right? If we can get 2 cards done in less than an hour and I'm talking to you and we're chatting about crafty stuff, that's a really good sign. You guys can get these done really quick. Okay, and just a word of warning, Iggy is over on the side here. So I've got my computer here, and then behind that is the stool that Iggy likes to sit on. He's hanging out and being good. He's cleaning himself, so fingers crossed that he behaves. Okay, let's see. Oh, so Heidi, the Celebrate Ephemera and Paper Pack. I was going to be a surprise. Next week, do projects with the Celebrate paper pack, the 6x6 paper pack. The ephemera, I decided not to use. I'm actually going to send that to some friends of mine who are scrapbookers. And the 12x12 paper pack, I'm also splitting and sending to them. They're going to be so surprised. They're going to love it. But I'm using the 6x6 paper pack next week. So spoiler alert, the Pink Fresh plus Altenew collab that they did, it came out last week with the Celebrate paper pack. It's so lovely. You're really going to love it. I'm going to pair it with I can't keep a secret. I'm going to pair it with metallics. So it's going to be awesome. And besides, I'm going to be putting out the supply list ahead of time anyway. So you're going to see that like hopefully today. No, not today, tomorrow. I'll put out the supply list for next week and the week after. So that way you guys can take a look at it and see what you have that you can use for your supplies. So anyway, yes, we are going to use it. So there you go. Heidi, you are all ready for next week because we have the paper pack. And if you have your metallic watercolors or another brand of metallic watercolors, you're good to go. Awesome. Oh, she bought the whole lot. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's really nice. I really like the stamp sets that coordinate with it. And then the paper was just really, really nice. I think it's very thoughtful that Pink Fresh does their paper single-sided, because I always had a problem like trying to decide which side of the paper I wanted. And that always killed me when I had to cut into a really nice pattern on the back. So it's kind of nice that the 6x6 pack is single-sided. I think the 12x12 pack is double-sided, but The 6x6 is single, so that's super nice. Okay, so guys, here we go. Super simple. Let's start with the simple one, and then we'll move into this one. They're both actually pretty simple. Okay, so I know I don't talk about base card paper very much, but I have moved on from Neenah Solar White. And you see what I'm doing here? Like, I'm just using my thumb and my finger to score this paper. I am in love with this paper. This is called Accent Opaque. This is 100-pound paper. So it's just slightly thinner than the Neenah Solar White 110. And I think it makes all the difference in the world. I have to go on a rant. Let's see. Okay. So this is a piece of Neenah Solar White 110-pound, and it's really thick if this is what you use. But when I fold it, see, I get lots of, if I fold it without a bone folder, without a score in it, I don't get a really nice crease. That actually wasn't too bad, but a lot of times it'll crack and things like that. And it's just really a heavyweight cardstock. And I don't know that a card really needs to have something this heavyweight to it. But 80-pound is too light. So if I'm using, like 80-pound is what I use for stamping images on and die cutting and things. So I was like, there's got to be a happy medium. Well, I saw a comparison out on YouTube about different papers, and they were talking about this Accent Opaque. And so another thing that I would say, and I don't know if it's going to translate well. No, not really. But in real life, you'll see that the Neenah Solar White is actually yellow compared to the Accent Opaque. And the Accent Opaque doesn't even really have a blue tint to it. You know how sometimes it gets so white that it turns blue? It's not blue. It's just more white than Neenah Solar White. Like, I don't know how that's possible, but it is. And I love it. So this is 100-pound Accent Opaque. I have the link down below. I get it from Amazon. And guess what? It's half the price. Half the price. So why am I spending so much money for a 110-pound card base that is just going to be a card base when I could be using 100-pound cardstock that's even brighter? That's half the price. Half the price, guys. So I am a convert. I switched to this Accent 100-pound cardstock probably about 2 months ago. So I'm like firmly in the camp of Accent Opaque. And they also make 80-pound. So I picked up a whole ream of 80-pound, and I think it blends just as nicely as the Neenah Solar White 80-pound. Like if I'm doing ink blending or if I'm doing Copic coloring for cards, it works really, really nice. Now I don't have the link for actually I think the link to the 100-pound is also, it's like a whole bunch of different versions of the paper on that particular offer on Amazon. So you can get the 100-pound and you can get the 80-pound off of that same listing. So give it a try. It's so awesome. Actually, I was thinking that because I couldn't find it anywhere else but Amazon, I was thinking maybe I would put it up on my blog because I have a store there too. I thought maybe I'd put it up on my blog and sell, smaller packs, like 25 packs or whatever. In case people wanted to give it a try, but they didn't want to commit to a whole ream, you could buy it in smaller amounts. So let me know if you think that's a cool idea, and I'll put it out on my blog and I'll see how it does. I mean, I'm getting it for myself anyway. I can repackage it and ship it to people. I have no problem with that. All right, so that's my rant on card bases. So I'm going to show you right now because we're going to use the card base for this card. It's almost a 1-layer card. We're going to use the card base to do some ink blending, and I'm using my new Altenew ink blenders. I have forsaken all other ink blenders for these because these are just super nice. Although I just saw the rabbit hole design ones. They're called Cottontails or Bunny Tails or something. Cottontails, is it? And they look really nice too. People are raving about them, and they're really at a good price point. I think they're $2.99 a piece. So, but I'm really happy with the Altenew ones. And I did actually rinse one out the other day, and it rinsed out really nice and it dried really nice. So you don't have to have one for every color or every shade, but they do rinse out well. Okay. All right, Ms. Tamp wants to get it for me. Okay, guys, I'll put up a listing and then I will, I'll let you know when it's live. And you guys can order some paper from me. So Heidi, have you gotten the rabbit hole designs blenders yet? And have you used them? Because see, look at this. Did you see how much ink I just put on there? I'm going to even put more ink on there. This is Coral Berry from the, I always forget, Red Cosmos set. Look at how inked up that is. That's ridiculously inked. And I put it down and I get 0 lines. I get no strays. It is gorgeous. And Iggy has moved. He's sitting right in front of me and he's watching me craft. It is the funniest thing. I'm waiting for his paw to like come into the screen. I won't tempt him though, I promise. All right, so check that out. I mean, it's beautiful. So, Paula, how do you know about the mixed media inks? I gotta ask because those are a big secret. Okay, so here is my beautiful blended background. And I'm using the Fancy for You die. I love this die because it's just the right size to put on a card front, and then you don't really need much of anything else, right? So when you look at the sketch, it's that we're using the same sketch from last week. Because remember I said I had more ideas for it. So the sketch is just that circle in the middle. You can see it right up there. It's just that circle in the middle. So I turn my card, and the For You is just basically taking up that circle space, right? So this is just to show you that a sketch doesn't have to be literal, right? It doesn't have to be a circle, or because it's a circle, it has to be a flower or something circular in shape or whatever. It's just talking about a specific space on the card, and that something should be there that's different than something else behind it. It's just an element, and that's like it's rough size and maybe rough shape, if you will. I think if you change it to a square instead of a circle, you'd be a little bit off on your interpretation. But again, it's just supposed to be a inspiration, a starting off point. So if you start with it and you're inspired to use a square in the end, the sketch police are not going to come after you. So, yeah. I don't have enough time to be the sketch police, people. Just go with the flow. If it becomes a square or a diamond or something else, that's okay. And I just realized, okay, I was going to put this down, but I just realized I can't do that yet. Okay. So some Distress Oxide Worn Lipstick. Okay. Oh, yes. You know what? Okay, so Paula, I won't beat you up too hard because Ms. Tamp, you totally reminded me. Yes, they were hinted at during the trade show. So I will tell you a little bit about the mixed media inks. They are water-based pigment inks that are permanent when heat set. So they're different than the regular inks because the regular inks are dye-based inks, right? So dye-based inks really only work on paper. If you try to put a dye-based ink on fabric or something like that, it will wash off to some extent. It might do a little staining, but it's going to stain. It's not going to stay permanently. But the mixed media inks, when you heat set them with either a heat gun or an iron, it becomes permanent. So you can use them on something like a t-shirt or a canvas bag, things like that. Stop back tomorrow for more details. Yes, they're going live tomorrow. Okay. So I have my glue on here. So you saw that I put some spatter on here with the Distress Worn Lipstick. just a little bit. I like the way that it looks with the coral berry. They're very similar in color. At least they're the same tone, same hue. And then, of course, you get that oxidation kind of look on there. All right, so now I can put my For You on there. Yeah, and the pink and the aqua is really a beautiful kind of classic combo. And there we go. I think I probably need a little bit more glue underneath that F. So, and it can be a little eye-popping. The sample that I did, that I showed you guys earlier, is I did the pink a little more deep. I actually probably added some ruby red to it. And it's a little, you know how your eyes get kind of cross-eyed, like when you're looking at 3D because they're red and blue, you see those little lines. So you see how that's kind of versus that, which is a little more pink. Actually, this one on screen, this one looks better. In real life, this one looks better. Red is a hard color to deal with on camera. Oops. And these all are a little loose because I let it sit for a minute, right? There we go. Okay. So background, and then, you know, I can even put my enamel dots on here now. We could call this card done, but we need to add the begonia because we're doing Build a Flower Begonia. So this is the Cool Summer Night enamel dots, and I used this darker shade, but I need a large one. I don't need a large one, but I would like a large one. So this is actually almost the same color. So this paper is called Paradise, and it is a Hero Hues from Hero Arts. And it really, really matches this medium shade of turquoise. I think this is probably Aqualicious, maybe. I can't remember all the colors from this family. But I like the way that the darker ones look too. I cut my nails the other day and I'm having a real problem moving enamel dots around with just my fingernails. So that'll work. Okay, so let's get a begonia on here. Okay, so for the begonias today, I'm stamping them on colored paper. So all of the paper is from Hero Hues, Hero Arts. And the pink is called Peony. And the green is called Pesto. I just looked this one up on scrapbook.com and it is out of stock, and I think it's probably discontinued because you know, Hero Arts, they're going to change their colors around every once in a while. So just a nice shade of green. I thought it looked really good with the olive and the moss. It's a good coordinating color. And then this, excuse me, this pink is also a good coordinating color. Now you're going to see this pink is not quite the right size. So that is because we're going to do some snipping and cutting. And we're going to use the pink as the base for the flower. So this is like a shortcut kind of thing. I just need to do an outline and one or both of the insides. I don't need to do the background color because I'm using the pink cardstock for that. So I will do the outline in ruby red. And I just need to make sure that I get the center in here. If it gets cut off the top and the bottom, it's okay. Oh, and actually, you know what? I'm going to do both of these at the same time because there's no reason not to for the other card. Yeah, I can do that. So there we go. All right. Oh, Paula, you got an email from Altenew. Really? Well, now you're in the know. And I'm doing it in my video tomorrow, so you'll get to see it in action. And I hope you like it because I really, really like the projects that I did for it. Okay. So we don't need to use the background stamp. I just we're going to do these two. Now, I don't really need to do this one on here. You can barely see it, so it's really not even worth doing. If I use the frosty pink on this paper, it ends up being about the same color. So do it, not do it. You're going to see it at first, but it's really going to blend in. So yeah, see, you can't even, can you even tell that I stamped it? Hardly, hardly at all. So that's a frosty pink, but then we'll do coral berry on this one. Go. And I think last time I used the MISTI when we did these, right? So now you're watching me do some alignment with just the block. Is not hard to do. Whoa. I just totally ganked up my die cut there. I could cut another one. All right, and then we've got the more detailed layer. So on this one, I'll do that in coral berry, and then on this one, I'll do in ruby red. Yeah, barely there pink. I mean, it is really hardly even there. Okay, so you guys are all oohing and eyeing over the Pink Fresh Altenew collab. What other things are you guys oohing and eyeing over lately? Have you seen the new Concord and Ninth? They've been talking about their color families and their inks and their paper forever, and it's finally coming out. I happen to like keep up with that, but I don't have a lot of their stuff. So I'm going to pass on their colors for right now, but I might, I've been thinking about getting the Pink Fresh colors. All right, so there you go. And we are going to need some leaves. So let's do all of our leaves up too. We need 2 leaves. So again, I'm just going to do an outline in moss. Teresa got the bundle. You'll have to let us know how it is. I'm sure it's going to be fabulous. The colors are gorgeous. I've been, stalking all of their posts and things, and I really think they look great. I love all the grays that they have to pick from and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think they did a really good job coming up with all of their colors. Okay, so that was moss. This is from Tropical Forest. And then olive. So we only need 1 detail layer, really. So I will do, and you know what? I don't remember now. I'm going to have to stamp this and see if it even really showed up. It's been a minute since I stamped these. The olive might just fade in. Barely olive, like barely pink. That's not bad. I didn't really line that one up well, did I? Got to really get my head over this one. There we go. So I think I kind of need a little bit more. So I will do the second one in moss. Oh, Becca, no, not at all. That's just something that I struggle with. So, I used to do Stampin' Up, and it was nice. They have their own paper and their own ink and their own they're in like their own little world, right? So like everything is all matchy-matchy. But when you get outside of that, yes, there's so many companies now that carry their own paper, their own inks. And I get that they want to have that unique offering. But to your point, how many paper and ink sets can a girl own or a guy, a crafter? You know, it's a little overwhelming. You have to pick and choose. And sometimes it's frustrating because I'd like to try the Concord and Ninth ones, but I don't, know that I would end up buying them all. So maybe I would just buy one or two and see how I like them. Or maybe I'll invest in I think they're doing the minis, little 1-inch cubes, like the Altenew ones. And I might try that. I think Altenew, and I'm not saying this because I do work for them, I think theirs is unique because they always have the cubes, the quads that coordinate together to really work with their layering stamps. So there's a purpose behind the inks that they create. It's not just to have an in-house brand of paper and ink. Other companies don't necessarily have that distinction. So I know Pink Fresh does. Theirs is also, I think it's quad based as well. They have like 4 different shades. So anyway, okay, so this guy, we're going to cut down, way down. We're just going to use this little itty bitty tiny flower in here. So a little fussy cutting. I've been doing a lot of fussy cutting this week. I did some yesterday on the Altenew channel. But when you have a stamp set that only has one flower in it, if you want a different look, you kind of got to get creative, right? So I'm cutting like all of the outside out on this one. Let's see. Don't need that one. I made this one really small. I might change that up a little bit. Let's see if we like it this way. Okay, there's comments going on here. Yeah, Heidi, that's where I'm at. I mean, I love all the things, but damn. And I can't fit it all either. Like I don't have infinite storage space, and I'm not going to keep expanding my craft room in order to fit it all. So something someone told me once that really resonated was only buy what you can use now. So, and this was kind of like a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator thing, like when a new catalog came out or whatever, you wanted to buy everything like all at once. But you can only use so much at one time, right? So only get what you can use within a specific period of time. So if you're going to do one big purchase and you know exactly what you want, and it's going to last you 3 or 4 months, yeah, you might be able to get a little bit more and be happy with what you've got and everything. But otherwise, like, you can only get so much. All right, so I left this little petal here. On this one, I took it off. I think I like it better without. Yeah, 22 colors and 48. Wow. That is a whole lot. And that's not me criticizing someone that decided they needed to get it, because we all have our love of paper craft stuff. And, if you love it, fantastic. I'm glad you found something that really works for you. Okay, so I just need one of these leaves, and I'm going to cut up the one that I didn't do so well on. Wow, Heidi, okay, that is a tall order, but very admirable, I think, to go through and use everything that you have at least once. I would also say if you pull something out and you say, I haven't ever used this and I need to use it once, if it really doesn't float your boat anymore, set it aside for a garage sale or to donate or whatever, and do it that way. Don't force yourself to use something just because you bought it and now you don't love it. It's okay to let it go. But be more mindful the next time that you make a purchase about what you really like and what you can reasonably use within a specific time frame. That's just me. Oh my gosh, someone get me off the soapbox. But I do love those Conquer the Ninth colors. So Teresa, yes, I am on board with you there about, like, I see stuff and I'm like, it is so pretty. And I really would like to have it. And I have full set syndrome where I like to have the whole set of things, which is why I really have to hold off on inks, especially because that'll really get you. Okay, so this leaf is going to go behind this flower, but it is a huge leaf, right? So it would look kind of crazy if I did a whole big thing. So I'm really going to stick it behind there. And then you see how there's like some extra sticking out here now. I'm going to trim that back now that I kind of know where that's going to go. Yeah. Hey, Paula. So that's why I decided to do this stamp focus, right? Because how many times do you buy a stamp set because you saw one thing that you liked made with it, and then you didn't know what else to do with it once you made that one thing? So I want to be able to show you that you can go back to the same stamp sets again and again, and you can combine stamp sets with other things to give them a fresh new perspective. So like today, we're not using any of the sentiments from the Begonia set. We're using some die cuts to make some fresh new combos, right? So that's the whole point of this series and the direction that I've gone with it. Let us be frugal crafters who still enjoy good new stuff. Okay, so this guy's just going to pop right on there. I'm not even going to pop him up. He's going to get enough of a pop-up sitting on the sentiment. And so I just want him to cover up this loop here. And it's okay if it goes over the little end of the U. Or you can flip it around and try to pop the U over it, either way. So like on this one, the U goes over it. And on this one, the U goes under. All right, so yes, another card using the Build-A-Flower Begonia. And we popped in a nice die. And I mean, there's so many ways you can use this die. I've used this die over and over and over again. So again, like another really good staple is just a good sentiment die. So this one, and then the other sentiment die that we're using today, the Bold Greetings, I've used those over and over and over again since I got them. I just keep going back to them. And I'm like, these are staples that are not leaving my craft room anytime soon. All right, first card. Yay. Okay, so we actually have quite a bit of the second card done. We're actually just going to need to do some fussy cutting and some, just one more little stamping thing. Okay, so the paper, again, is the Peony cardstock from Hero Arts. Out of anything that I might get from Concord and Ninth, I might get some of their paper if they come in an assortment pack, because I feel like I can never have enough shades of different colors of paper. I don't know why. But that might be the gateway to me getting the ink too. No, who knows? I'll keep you posted. Okay, an app called Awesome Note. Okay, I missed part of a conversation here. Okay, so let me scroll back because I know I've been trying to catch your comments, but I haven't caught all of them. Okay, let's see. The survey. So the survey, Becca, that was from Concord and Ninth. I'm glad you answered honestly. They need that kind of input too, right? Yeah, let's see. Yeah, Nancy, that's why I left Stampin' Up! Too. the mini ink bundle and paper. Oh, okay, Teresa. See, now you're selling me on that. Only $85. That really isn't a bad price. I like that. Paula, I am not on a channel tomorrow. Come back to this channel, Pixel Maven's Retreat. We're doing a blog or a video hop with Altenew, and I'm one of the steps in the video hop. So just come back here tomorrow. It goes live tomorrow, 9 o'clock Eastern in the morning. So just stop back here and check out the video. Let's see. Yeah, so Ms. Tam, that's the thing that I run into is that I have room, but I don't have a lot of room. And I need to be smart about the space that I have. So I'm always getting the mini cubes of ink. I'm always just looking for frugal ways to store things and that kind of stuff. Like I can't buy reams and reams of paper. The only thing I buy in reams of paper is my accent opaque cardstock. Okay, so I am doing, this is, I think I did this other one in Coralberry, but I'm doing this one in Ruby Red. I'm just doing the outline. If you were on the Altenew channel yesterday, you saw me do something very similar to this with a different stamp set. And I'm not going to be able to get these all butting up against each other. And in fact, I really don't want to. So I'm going to fit in as many as I can. And then we're just going to mask them and fill in the space. There we go. Okay, so that's the beginning. So I have some masks here. These are just paper that I put some temporary adhesive on. So I can cover these up as I go. Oh, I feel like deja vu because I did this yesterday with Altenew. All right, so pop in that corner. Whoa. And let me cover up this one here. Okay, so what else have I missed? Okay, so Heidi, I'm just getting through some comments about like the stuff that you shared out to the Women's Crisis Center. I think that is awesome. And that is a really good way to share your love of crafting with other people, is to be able to donate that kind of stuff when you can. So I'm just filling all of this in with, I guess I could have left that one. And the nice thing about this technique is that once you have it all filled in, it really does look like it's just one seamless pattern, that it was totally meant to be this way. And they just like flowers on top of flowers on top of flowers. All right, so I have, and I only needed 3 masks to do that. So isn't that pretty? This would be really nice to take like with a graphite pencil and do some shading and coloring in. It would be really, really stunning that way. But I also like it just plain like that. I think it's really cool. Okay, so man, you guys are chatting today. I love it. So I scrolled back because I wanted to know. So Prairie Store. So Becca, you're using Awesome Note. I need to check that out because I've been looking for a system to do inventory with. Honestly, like for me, because this is a business, like the stuff I do with Altenew and that kind of stuff is business related. I need it for insurance purposes in case something would happen to all my stuff. So I will have to check that one out. Okay. Hey. All right. Hey, guys. I think I'm back. Let's see if I can make that bigger. I can. Good. That's not really what I wanted, though. Okay. Yay! Oh my gosh, that has never happened to me before. I'm glad that back but fuzzy. Yeah, I don't know. It might just need to catch up a little bit. We were almost done though, but we were having such a nice conversation, and all of a sudden my computer's like, no, not going to stream you anymore. Anyway, I'm gonna have to like go back and take a look at all of your guys' comments because you were having such a great conversation. So yeah, I need to work on some inventory stuff and all that good stuff. And then Teresa was talking about collecting pattern paper, and now you make mostly your own. And you know what? I do the same thing. I used to have so much pattern paper all the time, and I could never get through a whole pack of it. So I have a few select packs right now, but I really don't crave getting it anymore. So a lot of times I'm doing my own backgrounds too. So I totally get it. Okay, so we are past the freeze. I'm so glad you guys stuck it out with me. Holy moly. It was like frustrating, terrifying, annoying, more annoying than terrifying, really. Fortunately, I caught it and I didn't really move on past where I was. So I think you guys saw everything. We were talking about the background and how nice it looks, and you guys were talking about creating your own backgrounds instead of buying pattern paper. So yeah, I mean, this is just as nice as a pattern paper pack for sure, and it coordinates with my stamp. It works out really well that way. Okay, so I just need to do some more fussy cutting, and again I cut this one down again, so I cut these bottom leaves off and then I left some of the other ones. So let me crop these guys off. Oh, actually I did one more. This one here. And then I'm going to come around. There we go. So that's the beginning of it. And then I kept this and this and this. Actually, I just kept the rest of it. So I just cut the little bottom part off. I cut off like 4 leaves off the bottom. So just that little bottom section came off. And that gives you another totally different look on your flower. So if you wanted to, like, you could die cut this one first and then trim off the bottom leaves, but at this point it's just easy enough to go around and do some fussy cutting. All right. Oh, okay. So Sue, if you're still out there, I think you asked this way back at the beginning of tonight about the new sketch starter. I'm behind on that. I hope to have everything done up. I have the winner picked. I just don't have the post done. I already know what sketch we're going to do. I just don't have it all set up. So I will get that all out either tonight or tomorrow. So that way you guys can get started with your sketch challenge for the month. Okay, so I happened to break this while I was working with stuff earlier. I think I got caught on a stamp and it ripped it. And again, I don't need this whole leaf. I just need to make sure that this end here is fussy cut nice. This I could have used the die to cut out, but it's just as quick to do this way. There we go. Okay, so this is going to go kind of like so. I guess I do need to trim this off. There we go. Yeah. So keep an eye out. It'll be out in the next day or two. For this weekend, for sure. Okay, and then I'm going to pop this on the U. So this is another good staple to have, is some of these mega dies. You can get the whole set of them. I do not have the whole set of them. I probably maybe will someday, but get the ones that make the most sense to have right off the bat, like the letter U, because it's, you know, short for YOU. And then they get the capital T for thanks. You know, you could do J for joy, you could do C for celebrate. Just get some ones that really kind of make sense to have initially. It's not like you have to have the whole set. So I'm going to pop this guy across here, and then I need to fix my K. So I told you I wasn't too worried about it because I knew it was going to get glued right down on the flower. All right, so it's just going to go right back on there. Not worried at all. So thank you. And it's going to get put right on there. I'm going to use some foam adhesive to pop that right back on. Yeah. So YouTube is kind of a wild, wild west, scary place right now because so many people are streaming that I'm sure like things happen, right? Like as far as availability of bandwidth and all that kind of stuff. So I would chalk that up to lots of people being on YouTube right now, maybe. But or lots of people in my neighborhood streaming right now, which could be the case too. So again, when you're looking at the sketch, I had that big circle in the middle, right? So the U and the flower, like this element is kind of that big circle piece in the middle. Right? So that's how I wanted to interpret the sketch this week, instead of being so literal like I was last time with the flower being the focal point in the center. I thought I would show you a different way to make that happen. So there you go. There's our cards for today. Let me see. Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, so Heidi, when you get your set this weekend, try this masking technique because it's super easy. I just used the die to die cut a couple of these masks. This is just paper. I put some temporary adhesive on the back and give it a try. It's only paper. You'll maybe be really surprised at the results that you get from it, right? So, okay. Yes, another week done. Another Build a Flower Begonia duo. And I think you guys are really going to enjoy those. Of course, remember to tag me at Pixel Mavens Retreat when you share out your photos out on Facebook, on Pinterest. Yeah, even Pinterest, I guess. Instagram. So I can see what you're making with all of these fun projects. Because that's the whole thing. I'm here to inspire you and to give you guys some instructions so you know how to use your products really well and get you some good ideas and inspiration. And that's what it's all about. So there you go. Let's see, as we close up today, I'm going to have our supply list for next week and the week after. I will have those posted soon. I don't really know I will definitely put it in my newsletter. So go down into the description for today and click on the there should be a little note in there about subscribing to my newsletter. Click on that link and subscribe to my newsletter so you get that update that way. I will also post some things in the community tab on my channel. I'll post links to the supply lists there. And I will try to get the my lives set up early so that way you have the description information there too. So there's 3 ways that you can get the supply information for our upcoming classes, and that should be really good. All right, guys, so I kept it over because actually it's only 3 after 5, so that worked out really well. But I'm glad I was able to get back and we were able to finish the projects today. I'm so glad you guys joined me and you hung out through a little technical difficulty, and we had some really good discussion on all sorts of products and philosophies on craft collecting, because we all are. I know we are. It's a good time. Oh, one other thing I wanted to show you, because I don't know that I'll use a mega alphabet anytime soon. If you have the mega alphabet, I was struggling with a way to store them, so I want to show you guys this one thing before I go. This is how Lydia from Altenew, how she stores hers, and I stole it because I thought it was such a great idea. So these are just like 5x7 plastic storage envelopes, just super thin. I use these for storing stamps and stuff in, but they work really great for all of them. Actually, I'm using them really for all of my dies. I cut the top flap off because it's just annoying to have to open up the top flap, but it works really well. So then I did that, and then I punched a hole in here up in the left-hand corner, and then I put a little ring through it. This is a little flexible ring, but you could use just a regular metal ring or whatever. And then I can have all of my letters in here. And then if I have, they actually are double-sided the way that I have them set up. So that way I don't have 26 of these. I only have 13. So like this one, I've got S on one side and then I've got T on the other side. So it keeps all of my alphabet dies together. And then I don't have to worry about storing them separately, or one, you know, like Z getting lost somewhere in the back of my pile of dies. They're all together because I have them all ringed together. Anyway, I thought you guys would enjoy taking a look at that. Oh, and I see my feed is getting a little blurry, so sorry about that. Hopefully it'll clear up in the replay. Sometimes it's just when it's feeding up to YouTube, it just gets a little blurry, but in the end, when it saves it, it'll save it nice and clear. So anyway, that's all I had for you guys today, and it's time to go find some dinner. So I will be back here next week with our next set of Build a Flower Begonia projects. And I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Stay cool. It's getting hot all over the place. Stay cool, stay comfortable, stay healthy and safe. And I will see you guys next week. Thanks so much for joining me. Bye.